Moving on to the first type of strike that we will do is a palm strike. Basically the palm of your, the heel of your palm. Some people will do this folding of fingers nonsense. You don't want to be doing this. Keep your hands open because you want your fingers free for eye gouging and other things like that. It's right where your wrist attaches to your hand. It's called the palm heel. And it's a straight in strike or a hooking type of strike. We got Bob over here on the side. Alex, you want to step over here, please?
Yes, sir.
I'll pull him out in a little bit of better view. The palm strike is just like a jab. You go straight in, hit to the chin. Most of our strikes with the hands or elbows are mainly meant for the head. Sometimes people only get damaged very hard. Being you're balanced off, you're slipping, you're moving. It's a whole lot easier to hit there than it is doing an elbow strike or something to the midsection. Either hand. You got the forward palm and you got a reverse palm, or some people want to call it a cross. You also have a hooking palm, which goes to the side. Either hand, but not wide swinging like this. I'll show you when we go and stare into the camera here. All right, back over here, sir. That's what a palm strike is for. Okay. It's straight in. Go ahead, show you. All right, straight in. Then there's the other one, straight in. Then there's the hook. It's not this big wide swinging thing like a street fighter would do who doesn't know how to punch. Alright, that's a standard palm strike. It will end up knocking their head backward, causing them to lose balance and maybe consciousness too. It's a very strong strike if done properly. Even the UFC has taken it out of their striking techniques that they can use in a cage. Because there's people that use it in no holds barred fighting were very, very effective with it, knocking out the person, their opponent, with the first hit. And they have, even with the padded gloves on, they're palm striking, very hard strike. I'm not a big advocate of the standard jab, punch, hook, because it doesn't hit the same way that a palm strike, because you can hit from here all the way down to here, anywhere, and still get that initial, what we call knee-jerk reaction, if not an actual knockout. Okay, now, a standard jab, punch, cross, if you want to use these, your hands would be in a fist, would be a straight in, and the hook. A properly done hook isn't this wild haymaker stuff. That's what you're going to end up having to do to defend it against, which is easy to stop if you're paying attention. Like I said, paying attention. You're expecting it to happen, or you're expecting something bad to happen because you're alert. Somebody's yelling, somebody's screaming, somebody's talking like they're going to kill you, okay? Or do you physical harm. I'm going to beat the stuffings out of you, whatever word they want to use. Now you have a right to defend yourself. That is a verbal threat. You can strike first. In most states, if not all of them, you can strike first if somebody threatens you. Right now we're just talking about a verbal confrontation, and so you're expecting something bad to happen, all right? All right, the next technique we're going into is elbow strikes. There's lots of other ones. We're going to get to those slowly but surely. And we're going to be practicing on some target stuff we have here that you can actually make at home. That's how you make it is in a separate video, okay? Elbow, across either side. It's just like the hook punch. It's either side. It's when you're in really tight to somebody and you can turn. If your feet are like just straight across, you're going to turn and fall down. That's why one foot will be back either side. Doesn't make any difference. Yes, your hands are up, remember? It's real quick. It's if somebody's in real close to you, and I mean real close. Excuse me, I'll go back to Bob here. If somebody's got a hold of you, they're pulling on you, it's bang. You can't get you're so close you can't get that palm in. You can hit him this way. You can hit him in the nose. You can hit him in the throat. You can hit him in the neck. Neck is a great place to do this. Okay? That's what these elbow strikes are for. Right here, sir. Quite effective. You'll see those used a lot in cage fighting and things like that. But they're not allowed to hit somebody's head while they're on the ground. We can. We don't have a set of rules. In self-defense, you don't have rules other than the law, and you better have the law on your side if you have to defend yourself and hurt someone. Keep that in mind. All right, next technique is the eye gouge. Real simple. Straight in gouging. Eyes, fingers. If you ladies, you got fingernails, you may be real nervous and shaking. Then you just, same thing. If you can't hit it because their head's moving, they're moving around, rake. Just rip their faces apart. Show them on Bob here, sir. It doesn't have to be real accurate. Keep your fingers bent when you do this. You don't want them straight like that. You go straight down on hard bone, you're like, rake. Simple to do. How do you practice that? That's the simple part. All right, a lot of people won't have a bob. They won't have freestanding bags, hanging bags. If you're just watching this at home going, what am I going to hit? Well, we're going to go through a few things here on some targets that I have. We'll practice that and show you. Actually, like I said, we'll teach you how to make them things. All right? You got the palm strike, eye rakes, or just straight in, elbow strikes, generally for the head. Trying to hit somebody here is not that effective. They may be able to take a great body shot. This, you're trying to get their hands off of you so you can turn around and run. This is not about street fighting. This is not about beating somebody up. This is like breaking their grip, getting them off of you so you can take off and run. Okay, now you also need to go back to the section I have on command presence. It's about the yelling and screaming. That's, a lot of people have a hard time doing it. Right now we're just sticking with the different strikes. We're trying to learn here. Okay, now we're going to go into a knee strike. A knee strike is mainly meant for the groin or the thighs. Right between the leg. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. Guys, you certainly know what I'm talking about. If you've ever been hit there, it's really devastating. It's pretty straightforward. Your knee comes up and just hits in. Well, how do you get them down there? Well, that's a whole different thing. Now, if you're in close, you don't have to pull somebody down. You can use the rear knee or the front knee. It doesn't take a lot. It really does not take a lot of power and pressure when you hit somebody in the testicles. It is very, sorry to say, I've known some people that you could do that to, and they, very, very few. You hit them there and they don't react to it at all. That's just not the case with, let's say, 99% of the men. Okay, the knee comes up and you put it down. You don't hold it. Bang, it's real fast. Or the front one if you're in close. Like old Bob here, if you're in there, he's got a hold of you, you got your arms tied up, you can't do anything. Bang! Of course, if you got a bob, you got to be careful of the plastic. And when you hit that thing, you're going to not like it on your knee. We're going to show you knee strikes on the target here. I got here set up how you can practice at home. Okay, knee strikes, palm strikes, elbow strikes, eye gouge. We're going to have another fun one here. The old, actually, Tony Blauer's spear system. He uses this a lot because it's very effective. You want to look up online on that. Recommend his program. It's in Las Vegas. It's more tactical for military and police forces, but I do believe he does give self-defense stuff training for others. It's in Las Vegas. TonyBlauer.com, I think is what it is. Okay, the side of your hand, the spearing of a hand. It's not spearing straight in like an eye gouge would go. It's hitting to the side of the neck or the throat. Okay, the side of the neck or throat. It causes a knee-jerk reaction or sometimes a temporary knockout. It interrupts the energy from the brain to the body, and it'll do this. You hit them correctly. And all you're doing is spearing right into the neck, almost not chopping this way, not going in straight, at a slight angle. You can use it with the inside of your arm or the outside of your arm. You're just hitting this nerve bundle right here. This is going to be hard to get away if they can block it, but if you're going straight in, you're in real close. You can even use a palm strike in real close if they got a hold of you. Okay? Going back to Bob over here just to show you, demonstrate, or the area. On him it's easy to see. He's got this big, most people aren't built like this anyway, big nerve bundle here. We all have it. And what I'm saying is just this. Or that. Or you can just chop in the throat with a forearm smash. This is the same thing as an elbow. Great. It doesn't take a lot of power or speed to get this. But most strikes you have to get there first or get there once or twice once or twice, because it depends on how, if this person's on some sort of weird drug, they don't feel a lot of pain. Striking in a throat collapse of the windpipe. This way, you see that hit? Or if I'm turning a little bit this way, or if I'm over here, I can use the other arm or this arm. Sometimes it's hard to hit the jaw, but this will cause this, and you can break the hands free and take off running. It's been used as a, you know, like a chopping motion or karate. A ridge, we call a ridge hand to, does the same thing. You can use a palm strike if you can get your palm right in. I've seen it used in Hapkido and Aikido a lot. Or they just smack the side of the neck and they'll just, you might steal 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, or you could actually knock them out all the way down to the knee.